Hi everyone, welcome back, and glad to have you back again. Essentially, this is the second episode for the GPS mapping project, and I finally had some time to get back into it. I've been trying to get it up and running in the past 2 days, basically spending evenings on it, and I have to say though that it's been quite the challenge. But given the challenges, I wanted to share those with you because the journey is not just about wins; it's also about the failures. I literally be lying if I just came on board and said, "Hey, look at this. This is how you program it. This is the code. This is how it works. Looks nice, wonderful, awesome. Um, enjoy it." But that's not the reality of things. The reality of things is that when it comes to hobbies and building things, engineering, failures are part of the process. They're actually incorporated in the process by design. And by design, I mean by not by wanton design. It is just part of what encompasses the holistics of building something. Um, it it starts with what doesn't work and what works, and more often than not, it's the what we don't know that ends up causing issues. And there's a lot that honestly we don't know. Uh, it's a constant learning journey, no matter what we try to build. And as obviously we know in today's world, how things are going so quickly with AI and other technologies that they're moving faster than our ability to adapt. And this is, I would say, for the first time in history, that it is moving at such a fast pace that we are just to the point that, well, how do we adapt to this? How does all this? Where is it going? And I don't just mean in the next year or two. Most of us are asking, where is this going in the next month or so? So I know I'm getting a bit off topic, and I am pretty much rambling a bit. But to get back on topic, I do want to, long story short, just expose you a bit to the failures as well. And these are my failures, and they're also something that I thrive on, not that I enjoy it. I hate not getting things working the way they're supposed to, or basically not getting something, uh, well, yeah. So, but having said that, I do want to underline the fact that if you're in the geek mentality, in the building mentality, whatever it is that you do as a hobbyist, um, you know what I'm referring to I when I bring up the dopamine rush. It's all about the dopamine. Essentially, it's about having a structured focus as to what it is that you want to do exactly, and that is the part that gives you purpose. But then there is this dopamine factor as well, as to you're like really hanging on to getting something working, and I am for this GPS project. So long story short, I it it's great it was great where the hardware is concerned. The obstacles mainly came with adjustments. So there were some software parameters that had to be adjusted. And then I just found myself getting a flood of data that came in basically from all the satellites, all the global positioning systems, from the regular GPS to our North American one, to Baidu, to GLONASS, to so on and so forth, to the European one. They all came in like just a flood. So I was okay, great. Now let's see the position on the map. But there was one more parameter that had to be set, and when I had activated that, basically in the terminal, I ended up with a operating system crash. So lo and behold, I lost everything. But I do know that it ended up working, just not visually on the map. And in that sense, I also want to say that I'm kind of glad that it didn't, that it ended up in a crash, because I do get to go back in, but this time pretty much get a list of all the parameters that have to be set, and I'm doing it for you because I want you to learn from my mistakes, and I want you to be able to pretty much get all the info that you need to set this up quickly without getting into so many hurdles as I did. So let's start with the hardware, and let's set this up to hand tracking. So here we go. Essentially, first thing that I did, let's set this back here. So the first thing that I did for this, let's remove that. Okay. So this is the module right here. You'll see the two yellow pins. They need to be set up exactly that way. Basically, I shorted the beeline on this. Not sure if you could see it well here, but there's some letters there, and I shorted the beeline. There is a battery underneath the module, the GPS module. I connected the wire, so you could see here the wire connects to it, and the switch there is set to off where it comes to when it comes to the standby. Again, connected a rechargeable. It's a rechargeable battery that they recommend that we connect to. And what else can I say about this module here? This is called a hat, so basically just connects to the pins. I have the fan, so basically the fan there, and because I put the GPS module on top, I had to get a bigger box, so that pretty much accommodates, let me show you here, essentially. So we figure out the regular module, the fan, the heatsink with the fan, and this is the GPS module. So right now we see the power is on. So we got power to the system, and those lights were also flickering before because I was getting data from the Pi 5 to the GPS module. I've put the receiver right outside the window. I recommend a cold start first. Basically, it takes a while for cold starts, might even take 20 minutes. What a cold start is that assuming once you have all your parameters done, you've fixed the logical part of the software. Um, because if you're expecting a plug and play, this is not a plug and play. You will be sourly disappointed to think that this is a plug and play. There is a bit of some formatting that you need to do. And once that's done, and that was pretty much I was at the end of that formatting when I experienced the operating system failure. But I would say don't get discouraged. I will provide the formatting with all the information. So hopefully it makes your life a bit easier without having to get into those hurdles. And this can get complex when it comes to formatting. So I was using basically large language, Gen AI, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, so on. So, um, so we have everything set. I was getting information in the terminal that the Pi was talking to the other system, which is the L76X GPS board, and it worked. The board works. The Pi is solid. Together, it is a solid mechanism. The antenna works. It is just that software set up those parameters that are a bit challenging. So I am hoping that I will get a signal. My next try, I've just reloaded the operating software and getting back to the cold start. At first, it will take a while to get a cold start, assuming once you get data starting to come in and you have your script, basically the script that is supposed to show a map and your position on the map. That is what we're trying to initially get first before we jump into other capabilities. And that is the first challenge. So once we get a cold start, and I just want to explain a bit what a cold start is. Let's say you wake up in the middle of a city that you've never seen before. So you gotta get your bearings going, right? Ideally, you want to get a map, start looking at the map. Where am I? What continent am I first? And then what country? Which city? What does it look like? Where's some of the bearings here? Well, I see a temple here. I see a shopping center. So start to get bearings. Once you get that, that's called the cold start. So initially you go through the cold start, so the system starts to get that in, and then there's a warm start, which is like as it was explained by Gen AI, as I was looking deeper into this, the warm start is, well, you've been sleeping in a park, you wake up in a bench, and it takes you a few seconds to realize, oh, okay, that's where I am. I'm in this city. I get it now. I've kind of prospected around, so I know where I am. And the hot start is essentially, and the battery that actually comes installed in this, which is at the bottom of this module. The battery apparently allows for quick hot starts. So the hard start is basically you're just blinking an eye and boom, so the GPS, it gets those satellite transmissions a lot quicker. So that's the cold, the medium, the hot start. So that's pretty much it. All I had to say for this episode. Sorry, maybe rambling a bit, but uh, I hope that I just wanted to let you know this project is a 100% go. I am going to show you in the next episode for this. So the GPS mapping project, I want to show you that dot where the location is, and hopefully we could then jump in and we could start creating and building some great compositions and applications with this system. One more thing that I have I have noticed on the internet as I was probing a bit about others that have set this up is some had wired from the PI to the PPS, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip that because as mentioned, I did get a trove of incoming positioning, so I believe I had it. I was right on it before the crash. So, next episode, do subscribe. You can get my latest posts and stay on top of my latest episodes. And if you please, if you can give me a shout out by give me a like. And if you're familiar with this, the Waveshare L76X, and you've had connected it through the pin. So basically, through the what's called the hat, and it works wonderfully. Do drop me a line and provide some advice for myself and the viewers as well, and anybody that falls on this channel in this particular episode in this project and is interested in pursuing it as well. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.